Okay, so what has two thumbs and a TV show and is ready for a bong hit? This guy. So excuse me while I whip this out. Where'd it go?
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. I wish there were a coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united.
That girl crazy. What is it about the crazy ones? What is it about the crazy ones? Always the crazy ones. Almost ready. Are you ready? I got this almost ready. Are you ready? I'm ready. I am so fucking ready right now. Oh, it's almost ready. Okay, you ready? You ready? Here we go. Oh, it's a big fatty one. What's up, Tara? I love that name, Tara. Do you know who Tara Strong is? I hope one day to meet Tara Strong. Just so I can shake her hand, say thank you. All right, so, Facebook bans posting news. Who's next? Twitter? Twitch? YouTube? Huh? Who's next? What country is next, Facebook? This is just a test run. This is Australia helping Facebook have a test run of banning news. And by the way, fuck News Corp and fuck Australia for this bullshit law about fair use media. Fair use media, news. Things that are meant to inform the public. That's fair use media. News is, you can go and look up fair use and it's listed right there. News. It's this thing for the common good. Even though that's not the way it works anymore. You know? So this thing where they want to charge Google and they want to charge social media who post Facebook or who post news stories is a load of crap. What they really want is to be able to be in control of the dialogue, the people commenting. They want to be able to go, yeah, you can't argue against our story, like with, especially with that argument. So we're going to go ahead and block you now. Bye bye. And then they control the dialogue about that. They control the narrative about what happened on 9/11, what happened in the Las Vegas shooting, what happened on, attacking Iraq in a fucking just a bunch of lies that were made up by the White House and presented by the media with zero fact checking. 1 million people dead. Oh, that's no big deal. We don't need what? What are you talking about, Iraq? Excuse me. We know nothing about Iraq, right? Let's see what's happening here. Killing people. Killing people. You guys are obsessed with killing people. There's only one, and really and truly, the government is killing people in your name with your tax dollars on a daily basis. Children. And they're doing it in order for someone to make a shiny penny. That's the only reason. There's no other reason. In your name with your tax dollars. Okay, so if you want to be obsessed about something, I would think you would be concerned about people killing children in your name. Okay, it's done for you, for your protection. This is why we have to kill those children. They were, they're collateral damage. Oh well, shit happens. Yeah, we did it to protect you, though, okay? So get over yourself. Phone number. It's right there on the screen. So we landed on Mars today. We can't seem to get back to the moon, but we landed on Mars again. For like what, the 7th time or something, we landed on Mars. We can't get back to the moon. No, can't do that. But we landed on Mars. Oh, everybody look, we landed on Mars. There's some shit going on the moon that we don't know about. Guaranteed. And again, this is the problem with the media. This is why the media has to control the narrative. Because if you're saying things about 9/11, if you're saying things about January 6th, that don't it's not the hive mentality, it's not the group think, then you are a danger to all of us. So that's why we must control the dialogue. And when you try and interject your sickness, your mental illness, your dissent, your sedition. I love that word, sedition. You try to interject your seditious thoughts and beliefs. We will be there to stop you. And not only will we be there to stop you, we will also be reporting you to the authorities. And you can be expected to be spending time at a re-education camp so that we won't have to go through this again. We won't have to go through this again, will we, people? Because that's what's coming, obviously. And Facebook is leading the way. Oh no, we are doing it because of this stupid law that these stupid people passed. Well, you're supposed to fight shit like that. You're supposed to fight. And this is the problem, is they're not looking to go, well, no, this is fair use, and it's to inform the public, and they're not looking for a reason to stand up for free speech, as they should be at every turn. When you have so many people relying on you to defend their freedom of speech and freedom of expression, so much of the Earth's population relying on you. And then you somehow act like, no, censorship is the way of today, the way of tomorrow. Censor now, censor forever, right? That's where we're at. And if that's where we're at, I mean, because if Facebook's not going to fight back, then how are we, this giant fucking corporation that has the whole world, expecting them to fight back against censorship. If Facebook's not going to do it, then how am I going to do it, right? And maybe that's the question, how? Because I talk about this, you guys ask all the time, how are we supposed to do this? How are we supposed to do this? And again, there's only one way, and that's to stop, believing the bullshit and recognize our common enemy. We have one common enemy, and it is this police state government, and its ever intrusive, ever expanding police state, which includes the media now, and probably the pharmaceutical companies and the religions, everything. Because otherwise there'd be people somewhere gathering and speaking the truth. Hey, buddy, did you get some barbecue? Huh? Yeah, nice. Score some barbecue, good boy. You're gonna go up on the couch? Everybody's waiting for you down by the river. Go up on the couch. Go on, get up there. You're my beautiful baby. Go up on the couch, beautiful baby. Go on, you can do it. He's getting a bath under the river now. Okay, so anyways, that's just what I think. And, I'm like pretty simple guy, so I could be wrong, I suppose. But I don't know. What do you think? Huh? You think Ted Cruz is representing his constituents as the representative public servant he claims to be? Hello, caller.
Hey, Max. This is Manny.
Hey, Manny. What's up, G?
Hey, I was looking at the Facebook thing, and I was when I saw your notification on my phone, because like half an hour before the show starts, I get a notification.
Cool.
And I was looking at the news and about the Facebook situation in Australia, and it's actually kind of scary, though.
Horrible.
I get the point that it's forcing Facebook and the news to pay money to the news articles for linking it to Facebook, but still, like.
That's not what it's about. It's about controlling the dialogue, It's about them being able to say, the news corporations being part of the government, being able to say, oh yeah, you're not able to say that. Okay, that's what's happening, Manny, is they're trying to gain complete control of the dialogue.
That's the bigger picture.
Yeah.
But the original story what I read is something regarding the linking of the news articles to Facebook and some sort of fees associated with that. Which I heard that argument before with Google News. A few years ago, I kind of remember.
Yeah, they've been talking about it. They've been talking about it for a few years now.
So one of the things that the news site is they just paywall it. Like, they still can link it to Google, but when you click the link to read the article, you have to paywall. You have a paywall of the website.
Yeah.
So let's say you go to.
That's a bunch of bullshit, man. Okay, look it. If the people that are doing the so-called news don't want to do the news for everyone, they just want to do it for the people that can afford it, then they have a really, really biased objective. and that makes every single one of them very dangerous to the general public. Okay, so I think that should be obvious to people, and that's why it's supposed to be like a free press. Obviously, we don't have that, but go ahead.
No, and I totally understand. Like, for example, when I try to read the financial news, though, I
Yeah.
have to go to certain websites that a lot of people say they're kind of like questionable objectivity, though. But they're kind of like blogs because you want to go to the Bloomberg website, for example, Bloomberg.com. You have to pay like a hefty fee, though, or be a terminal subscriber. So I don't walk in Wall Street to work on a Bloomberg terminal and have access to Bloomberg News. And I don't have like a lot of money to pay a year for a subscription
Sure.
news website.
Who does?
So, well, rich people.
Right, that's what I'm saying. They have this slant, it's about it's not about informing the public, which is what, if you're going to call yourself news, it should be about everybody and the public, and these are important things for the people to know. That's why we're taking up this important time of yours to let you know what's happening.
And also like CNN, for example. Yes, you can see certain articles, but there are other articles that you have to be subscribed to your cable provider. So you have to use your cable provider credentials just to see the article. Or see videos. And other when you have to pay a subscription fee, which I understand because a lot of people are using ad blockers, but still, it's creating this weird chilling effect that we're restricting news for like a pay to read.
Again, Manny, the news, I'm not saying they can't make money, but it shouldn't be about this, we have to make money pandering to sponsors, right? Because what you're saying is, that they're going to be looking out for the people that are paying for their commercials because those people are way more important than anybody else.
Yeah, and it creates a weird situation where they're just going to be pandering to those people, and they're just going to tell them the truth or tell them their truth to those people.
Right, because, or at the very least, make the truth seem questionable. Like, there's the other side, and then there's the other side of the story, and I'm not saying the other side of the story is not complete bullshit, but I thought you should hear it anyways.
Well, yeah, that's true. And a lot of people, I'm from Mexico, and I'm very familiarized how the mobile, like the cell phone industry works over there. And a lot of people are in prepaid brands, and a lot of prepaid brands in Mexico, they give you a very limited amount of data. But there are certain websites where the data is unlimited, like Facebook.
But everybody communicates by text, right?
Yeah, well, yes and no. Facebook is unlimited in Mexico. But other websites, there's a limited amount of data. So they give you like 5 gigabytes a month for the rest of the website, except Facebook, WhatsApp, Facebook Messenger, what else? Like FaceTime and stuff like that, which they're unlimited. So that creates that the only way to get the news and to get the information for people is Facebook, for example. So a lot of the news people get it from Facebook. And what happens, now you're limiting the ability for the people to get that information in these third world countries. And now that they don't have information, other actors might come in and start manipulating people through Facebook. This is why the Twitter revolutions that happen in those countries is because the mobile service industry in those countries allow unlimited Twitter, but at the same time allow the news information and sources to get it directly from Twitter and Facebook, not from the websites. So it's becoming a dangerous monopoly, though, a very fascistic monopoly, Facebook.
Dangerous. I agree with you. We gotta the news. The news is, again. I don't know how much of a monopoly it is. Like Murdoch owns basically everything, right? But I think, and a couple other people, from what I understand, between Murdoch and a couple other people, they basically own all media. But at the same time, I think that there's, I think that those are dinosaurs, kind of, and I think that there's something more going on, like the control of Facebook and Google and all that shit. Because there was a time when I was owning fucking Google. Google was my bitch. But those days are gone.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny though because you say Murdoch owns everything though, but I mean I study finance at college, and I have access to the Bloomberg terminal at school because they have a Bloomberg terminal. And if you look at who owns like the major big companies, though, they're not owned by people. Mm-hmm. They're owned by financial institutions like investment banks.
Yeah.
Investment banks owns they have a huge amount of share or like a huge amount of stakes on the major Fortune 500 companies, which is kind of scary. You see BlackRock, you see Wells Fargo, you see Goldman Sachs, you see PIMCO, you see I don't know what else, it's Morgan Stanley, Bank of America. Like those are the major shareholders of those companies.
Yeah.
So, like your Boeing or like your Pepsi, your Coca-Cola, they're owned by Goldman Sachs, Wells Fargo. This is real. It's kind of scary actually. But I understand why they do that though, because they eventually resell those to customers in the form of mutual funds or like ETFs. But yeah, the segment of investment banks alone, they own like the majority of the shares of the Fortune 500 companies, including Disney, including CBS, including like Warner Media, which owns CNN. Again, individuals, yeah, there's still individuals who own like a smaller percentage, but not significant enough to actually have a gigantic. I don't know, like a gigantic.
Like I'm saying, they're trying to seize control. It's all about the dialogue, Manny. It's all about. If you own the dialogue, then it's like, oh, see, we agree with what they're saying. So it's like you fit right in, and it's all this hive mind, hive think that I keep talking about. So if you can do that, which is what they're trying to do, more than anything else, more than make money, they just want to own. They just want to own that they don't want the dissent. They want to be able to shut down the dissent the second it becomes dangerous.
Now, interesting enough, though, let me ask you an honest question, though. Like, what is your take on critical race theory and this woke culture that we're developing right now?
The woke culture? I tried to explain to you, I don't know, last night or the night before, about the fact that we leave a chemical spill behind us everywhere we go, and I don't think you got it. So I don't think the woke culture actually exists. The problem is that there's a short-term memory thing going on, and it's like people just can't stay focused for more than a few seconds. I'm having a lot of trouble with it right now, but I think there's other reasons for that. They explain it in the Monty Python Meaning of Life. I don't know if you know that movie or not, but there's a part. Yeah, there's a part towards the end of the movie where they talk about, and finally we're getting to the important matter of how much stuff there's still left for us to own. And then they go, oh, what was that you were talking about? And they said, oh, the meaning of life. And he starts talking about how that there's two forms of thought. One is that people are not wearing enough hats. And he says, and the second form of thought is that, is that man is born into existence like all other creatures, but with the ability to develop a soul. But unlike the religious ideas that, somehow man is born with the soul, the idea of actual consciousness is that man has to, develop that soul through all kinds of trials and tribulations. And then but because there's so many distractions on the planet, that it's very easy, it's very difficult for people to not be able to focus and get distracted, and then the development of the soul is kind of completely lost. And then the guy says, "What was that thing about hats?" And you completely forget that they talked about that in the movie. It's like this really important thing where they explain what all life might be about. And then he says, "What was that thing about hats again?" And you completely forget, dude. And it's hilarious.
Well, the Monty Python is hilarious on itself. They have funny cartoons. But actually, when I watch a kid. When I watched it when I was a kid, I watched it because of the funny cartoons. I'll definitely watch it again though, because I haven't seen Monty Python in years.
You know who Terry Gilliam is?
No.
Okay, Terry Gilliam is currently a very madcap director. He makes some crazy movies, but he was one of the original Monty Python cast, and he is credited with all of the animations throughout the entire series and all of the movies, from what I understand.
I'll look it up, dude. I haven't seen Monty Python in early decades. But
Yeah.
That's actually one of the first English shows that I've seen when I moved to America. So they showed the PBS in Los Angeles.
Watch the meaning. Watch the meaning of life. I guarantee it'll crack you up.
I've seen the one where they have with the bunny, though. Have you seen that one with the bunny?
The bunny.
Yeah.
The Holy Grail. Monty Python. The Holy Grail.
The Holy Grail.
Yeah.
Yes, the Holy Grail.
Yeah. No. Watch.
Yeah,
Watch the meaning of life, dude.
I'll look it up then. But yeah, I mean, it's back to the original point, dude. It's kind of scary though. When Facebook is
Everything to you is scary, Manny. I keep telling everybody not to be afraid, and you're like, "It's so scary, Mike." And then you come back 2 weeks later, and you go. Then you come back 2 weeks later, and you go, "You were right."
I mean, this is what happens when you grab shelter.
Look, I don't know what you mean about that, but look, I'm just telling you, the fear is part of the programming, Manny, and not to buy into the hyper fear. That's all. It's not the reality in this moment, and it's not benefiting you in any way.
I see. All right, no, let's talk to you.
Okay, it's good to hear from you too, Manny.
Have a good day.
You too. Meaning of life. Meaning of life. If you have not seen The Meaning of Life, you are truly missing out. And yet, Terry Gilliam, who made a whole bunch of movies, including Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I'm a huge Hunter S. Thompson fan, and I think he actually did that story justice with Johnny Depp and Benicio del Toro, I think. Some good shit. So, and he talks about there's a minute where he's so high and he's in his hotel room and he's just fucking tripping balls, Hunter. And he talks about how there's you can see that there's this moment of high tide, high watermark for freedom of speech, and you can see the tide going out, and it's really, for me, it's really chilling, because I have talked about freedom of speech from day one. From day one, pretty much every single thing that I've done on social media has been about freedom of speech. And here we are. Facebook censors news. The news. We got to censor the news now. Oh, no, it's about money. It's not about censorship. It's about money. It's all about... Well, yes, we're the richest corporation in the world, and we could probably pay for, the little tiny bit of money that the News Corp is asking for. But then CNN's going to want money, and Fox is going to want money, and it'll just go on forever. So we'll just censor everyone. That's so much simpler. That's just so much simpler, right? Because you guys can't expect us to fight for freedom of speech. All right, I'm going to play a video. Numbers up there on the screen if you want to talk about this. The world is crumbling. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. What are you doing? Don't lift from my mouse. Okay, here we go. Facebook censoring news in Australia.
Facebook is facing criticism from around the world after blocking people in Australia from viewing news content on its site in protest at a proposed new law. The Prime Minister of Australia, Scott Morrison, says that he will not be intimidated by the social media company amid a row over plans to force internet firms to pay for news shared on their platforms. Our media editor, Amal Rajan, reports.
This is the internet, but not as we've known it. Never before have a democracy and tech giant collided as they have in the past 36 hours, and the aftershocks are likely to spill out across the globe. Australians woke up to a new world, unable to access news sources via Facebook, after the social media giant carried through on its threat to the government there. What's this all about? Well, over the past 2 decades, 2 deep global trends have occurred simultaneously. First, advertiser-funded Facebook and Google have become 2 of the richest companies in history. Second, the business model of newspapers has collapsed. What connects these 2 trends is advertising. A generation ago, high-quality newspapers were largely funded by advertising. Today, most advertising is online, and Facebook and Google account for around about 60% of all global digital advertising. That is a duopoly, and publishers want in on it. This is about who owes what and to whom. Led by Rupert Murdoch, Australia's newsrooms argue that their expensive journalism makes these tech platforms more attractive and gives them credibility. Australia's government agrees.
This is an assault on a sovereign nation. It is an assault on people's freedom, and in particular, it is an utter abuse of big technology's market power and control over technology.
Yet the data giants have strong counter-arguments. Publishers choose to be on Facebook because they derive value from it, both reach and traffic that can be monetised. The tech giants have set up funds to invest heavily in journalism. And moreover, they say forcing anyone to pay someone just for linking to them breaches a fundamental principle of the web and privileges one category of information, news, over others.
They want money so that people can link. Now, this kind of breaks down the way that the World Wide Web has worked up until now, and it kind of sets a dangerous precedent.
Google has taken a different approach, signing a bespoke global deal with Murdoch's company, News Corp. That leaves Facebook short of friends. Amal Rajan, BBC News.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am?
You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
Okay, and thanks to Woolco for hosting the chat last night when the show went live, and I had no idea. I had no idea. All you people saw me taking bong hits. Hello, caller.
Yo, Michael, what's up, dog? Shout out, Michael.
Hey, how's it going?
What's up, G? How you doing?
Doing good. I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm good. I'm trying to find my lighter because I desperately need to light up a bong hit. Oh, I found it.
Are you making gummies? Are you making gummies?
Oh, Mike, I have it. I'm about to. I haven't made gummies in a very long time because I've been smoking a lot of marijuana.
You gotta eat the marijuana, Pete. We've had this discussion before, Pete.
I know I'm regretting it. My lungs feel like garbage because I've been smoking for.
You can smoke. But the thing is if you eat the marijuana, you won't smoke nearly as much.
Well, I much prefer the eating. It's just that
No, you want to have the option to do. You want to have the option to have a puff before, that way if if like you need the relief now, but you eat your gummies and then you take a puff and you're good until the gummies kick in. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that's exactly it. It's the puff is the instant relief, but I much prefer the edibles. But the process of making the edibles is painful and time consuming, Michael. And I have no time.
It doesn't have to be that. It's not that painful, and it doesn't have to be all that time consuming. I mean, I don't know how much time you think it takes, but I mean, it takes like more time than, making a batch of
I just need devices to keep temperature.
I thought you bought
control.
I thought you bought devices. You told me you bought devices.
I do have devices, and then it broke, and then I got a refund.
Oh.
And then I'm going to get. I actually, yes, I bought a. You're right. I did buy a device. What was it? I forgot the name of the brand. But it's one of those devices where you essentially add your cannabis and your butter, and it infuses it for you for 4, 5, 6 hours.
Oh, like a magic butter machine?
Yes, magic butter. That's right.
I
got the refund.
Oh, you got a refund on the one that broke?
They did, and they offered me a free machine.
That's awesome. And you know how to use the damn thing now. Now you know how to use the damn thing.
Well, no, I do know how to use it, motherfucker. I just fucked it up because I put water in it like a dumbass. As I told you before, you're not supposed to put water in it.
Yeah.
And it caused the device to overflow, and then the water got into all the electronics, and it malfunctioned.
Yeah.
So you're just supposed to put butter and ganja in it, really.
Yeah.
So
How much?
that was my fault.
How much
so
ganja?
I'll take the blame for that.
How much ganja? You said they were redoing your thing. They were giving you a free one.
Yeah, they're gonna send me, and not only that, they're gonna send me the brand new, like the modern 2021 device, like the brand new one.
Awesome.
That just came out. So that one's fresh off the market, dog. So that shit's gonna be hot.
How much weed does it hold?
It can hold as much as you want, dog. It's in fact, people complain that the minimum capacity is too low. So, but I'll be doing at least an ounce or two of
Oh, so you think you hold an ounce then? No problem.
At a minimum, I think you have to have like at least a cup of butter, which is like an ounce of weed, right?
A pound of butter. I would say, yeah, that sounds about right. A pound of butter. I figure a pound of butter per ounce of good weed, something like that.
Yeah, 1 cup of butter or coconut oil or whatever per ounce of weed. If you're someone like you and me, who's a fucking OG, who has high tolerance, some people may think that's way too high, like you're insane. Those people are lightweights. But you know, if you're an OG like you and me, that you know, we
I-
go deep. We go deep, dog. In fact,
Hey, you have
I
one of my
I-
you have one of my snickerdoodles, and you're gonna remember it. That's all I'm saying.
Yo, dog, you don't even fuck with my gummies, dog. In fact, I'll even go deep. Like I'll go deep into the abyss. Like I'll go 2 ounces per cup. I'll drench that shit.
No, dude, this is what I'm saying. Okay, again, what you want to do is
Saturate.
what you want to do is you want to have 1 ounce to smoke and 1 ounce to eat. That's what you want. And then you will smoke so much less. You'll smoke so much less, dude. Unless you're buying
So
it by the
my
QP.
buddy-
Unless you're buying it by the QP or something.
Yeah, my buddy's a big cultivator, so he has like just so much weed. It's just
You just giving it to you, or are you buying it?
he sells it to me, but it's super cheap. There's just
Nice.
there's so much weed. It's ridiculous.
Awesome.
There's so much weed, Michael.
Well, you got to get. Well, then good. I'm glad you're going to be getting back to eating some, because you got to eat it, Pete, and that way you won't smoke nearly as much. If you're eating it, guaranteed, you'll have a puff, and then you know what you'll do? You have a couple gummies, and then you maybe have another puff, and the next thing you'll be like, "What's a puff?" you know?
Yeah, I'm a lazy cunt American. I need a device that's gonna infuse all my shit for me, because I'm a lazy douchebag.
I don't think that's true. All I'm trying to actually do is remind you of the importance of this, because not that many people know of the importance of eating marijuana, but you do. So act like it, okay?
If people are not eating their marijuana, you guys are fucking up, bro. Decarb your weed, put it in the oven at 250 for fucking 45 minutes, and then fucking mix it with some butter, and make some fucking brownies with some gummies, you fucking faggots. So stop fucking around. You're smoking the weed, you're fucking up. Eat it. You'll get way more fucked up, and you'll save weed.
Well,
you're fucking up, people.
What I'm saying is, you have a brownie, and then you know, like you get up in the morning, you have a brownie, and you have a puff, right? Wake and bake, and then by the time you get started with your day and everything is going on, that brownie kicks in, and you don't even think about having a puff again for like hours.
Bro.
Yeah.
Yes, I know exactly the sensation that you're talking about, and it's a fantastic feeling. And people that don't know what you're talking about need to experience it. Make some edibles, people. It will change your fucking life.
If they're not listening by now, but I'm talking to you, man. You know, and you're not making it happen. So do it, bro. Have some fucking priorities, man.
I am. I just like my friends make such great weed, and it tastes so good. I just want to smoke it.
It's gonna make such amazing edibles, isn't it?
I know, but it's tasty when I smoke it. Listen to it burn.
Does your friend have a flower press?
Yeah, he makes his own hash.
He has a flower press? He has a flower press? Are you over there smoking flower rosin with him?
I don't know. I know he has his own hash. He gives me his hash. His hash is fantastic.
Right on. Well, if he's got fantastic hash, if he's got fantastic flowers and he's giving you good hash, that's a total score, man.
He's got his medical card. He's got his little.
No, the reason I was asking about a flower press is because you can actually press the flowers and then smoke the golden goo that comes out of it, and then put the flowers that's left behind, the pressed flowers, into your device.
Yes.
So
you know what? I need to ask my friend about that, because I don't know if you've told me about the pressed goo for a long time. And I don't know if he does that type of. I don't know if he smokes the goo. I gotta ask him about that, because he is a cultivator,
Yeah.
And I bet that he has a plethora of goo that he could.
If if you're not experienced at it, you can go and get these like hair straightener devices. If you don't want to spend like $300 on trying this stuff out, to get a proper press, you can get a hair straightener at the fucking Goodwill for like $5, and you can make this stuff with that and some parchment paper, and you taste it once or twice, and you go, this is the stuff right here.
All right. Okay. The leaves, right? Like, no, the buds.
Yeah,
right?
you smash the flowers. Right? You smash the flowers, man. I have a 12-ton smash, so it presses them fucking good.
But do you do the buds or
the buds?
Or do you do the buds?
You do the buds. You do the buds. They have all the flavor. You do the buds. And then you crumble. Then you're left with this little puck, which you crumble up and you put in your crock pot or whatever device you're using, and you make fucking, because this all left over is this smashed flour.
Okay,
that still has THC and stuff in it. So you mix it into.
What kind of pressure? Do you have like a specification for the pressure?
I have a 12-ton press. But I don't think you need that. I don't think you need that much. I think
12 ton.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. I think I'll do it. How much did that cost you? Jesus Christ!
I don't.
You had 12-ton press.
I don't pay for anything. That's what Wilco said. I don't know. I thought it was like a 5-ton press or 6-ton press, but Wilco says it's a 12-ton one. I don't know.
You got a press that can do 12 tons?
Hey man, you got to smash those. How much weight you think it takes to smash a flower, dude? These are tough flowers, man.
12 tons. 12 tons.
These are these are tough flowers, man.
Yo, that's one serious piece of hardware you got.
It's just basically a car jack, okay? It's a car jack, and I pump it just exactly like you would a car jack. They have 5-ton car jack, 6-ton car jacks. I have a 12-ton car jack, and it's got 2 pieces of steel.
Mike, I know.
That heat up.
I have no calluses on my hands. I never worked hard day in my life.
Whatever, dude.
I'm sorry.
Whatever, I don't care. You're telling me you never changed a tire?
Oh no, I definitely changed many tires. In fact, I used to work at a gas station.
So then you know what a jack a car jack is, right? So all I'm saying is they make them that are 5 tons and 6 tons and 12 tons or whatever, and I got one that's that, and it has 2 pieces of hot metal that heat up to 200 degrees, and I put it between the metal and it smashes them, and it makes good golden goo. It's very tasty. And if your friend hasn't tried it,
you gotta suck that goo, man. That's some good goo to suck down.
If your friend hasn't tried it, I'm just saying you might want to, because it's very clean. It's just the little crystals, basically. Basically, it's just the little crystals off the plant.
Suck that clean goo, bro.
Well, what I'm saying is there's all this plant matter in what you're smoking, right? There's not that in what I'm doing. I'm pulling off all the crystals, and then I'm putting it on a piece. I'm putting it on a heated up piece of quartz crystal. It's not even burning. It's just turning to vapor.
All day, Mike. I'm with you.
You're burning.
I'm with you.
You're burning carbon. You're burning greenery, and it's going into your lungs unnecessarily. Is what I'm saying.
You're right.
And this concentrates all the flavor and stuff too.
I'm a fucking caveman. I'm a goddamn caveman.
This concentrates all the flavors also, because all the flavors are in the terps and the crystals. So when you pull it away from
Michael.
Yeah, when you pull it away from the that carbon and stuff, the greenery, all the chlorophyll and all that kind of stuff, the flavor is just amazing. It's like a flavor explosion, dude.
I don't give a fuck. I still get a flavor. You want to hear my flavor explosion? Here's my flavor explosion right here. Cocksuck. Mmm. Mmm. That's a flavor explosion.
Nice.
That's that good New England, New Hampshire ganja.
Nice. It's good to have friends.
In New England, we got some fucking ganja that you motherfuckers don't even know about. It's a whole different thing.
Yeah, I know. You don't even know what the fucking strain name is. So whatever. We can't even share it with us. How are we supposed to know that we don't have it? How do you know that we don't have it? We got everything. We're the motherfucking West Coast, man. We invented goddamn buds, okay? The fuck are you talking about?
I'm talking about some dope ass shit, Michael. And I know all the strains in my buds. There's some Skittles I'm smoking right now.
Oh, sweet. That's awesome, dude. We have that here. So you know. You know what? I have some red Bulgarian blowfish. You ever heard of that before? I got some crazy shit, man. I got hollow deck Jesus.
Yo, I got fucking Antichrist fucking reverse cock. You ever smoke that shit?
Is that like
your fucking mind?
the Hellfire? I love the Hellfire. The Hellfire OG. That's some good stuff, man. I think I have a cross with the Hellfire OG. Something's a cross on that.
Yo, you ever smoke that motherfucking Rush Limbaugh? That shit will fucking blow your fucking cock off.
No, I never heard of that before.
I mean, it's kind of like a little bit lame. It's more of like a sativa than an indica.
I don't know. I never heard of that one.
Sorry,
I don't
more
think.
of an indica than a sativa. Whatever.
I might have heard of it, but I'm not sure. It's not something that I... Generally, I stay away from buds that have names, that have male names. I don't know. There's just something about, a male name on a flower, because I see people calling their flowers guys and stuff like that all the time, and I'm like, that's really weird, man. They're ladies, and I wouldn't want them to forget that for 1 minute. So it's kind of weird to me. But I actually just started.
Timothy McVeigh.
No, but I just started. I mean, to be totally correcting myself. I just started Bruce Banner number 3 seeds. So Bruce Banner number 3. I expect it to be a big green monster.
Yo, you ever smoked that Lou Reed?
No.
Yo, that Lou Reed number 3, that shit blew my face, dog.
No, I don't know.
That shit was fucked up. Yo, I know a lot of people were talking about that Lou Reed. Yo, you ever smoked that David Bowie, too? That David Bowie, Lou Reed hybrid. It was like an indica sativa strain.
No.
I don't know who worked on that shit, but it was fucking good.
It's there's some brilliant people working on strains out there, that's for sure.
Yo, for real, some great, brilliant minds.
Well, I'm glad to hear you're doing good and stocked up on weed, buddy.
All day. Yeah, I'm gonna smoke some Mac DeMarco now.
Grease monkey. I was looking at that 4-ass monkey. Have you seen that 4-ass monkey? That looks very interesting. Autoflower. I'm getting ready to start the autoflowers for the backyard summer grow. Gotta have some autoflowers in the backyard or it's just not summertime. Not in Seattle anyways. Not in my house. If there's not flowers back there, it's not summertime, that's for sure.
Good.
You have a balcony, don't you?
No, I don't.
You're lying. Why are you lying?
Me?
Yeah, you have.
No, I don't have.
You told me you have a balcony.
Me? No.
Yeah, you're
I
lying.
not. I do not have a balcony. I wish I did.
All right.
I wish I had some sunlight to bask in. Unfortunately, I don't.
All right. I was going to send you a couple seeds so you could grow some flowers, but never mind. Your friend goes flowers. That's all you need.
One day, maybe. When I buy my own house. I don't let you go, Mike. God bless.
All right, Pete. Good to hear from you, bro.
Michael, you sexy son of a bitch. He's a sexy son of a bitch. Michael is motherfucking bitch. You cannot cease to exist. Michael, his name's Michael. He is the cycle of freedom, motherfucker. So suck my dick, motherfuckers. 'Cause you will not win. You will persist. And you can suck my dick, motherfuckers. Peace and love.
Motherfuckers.
Yo, praise Allah. Peace.
Good to hear from you, Pete. Right, that's our brother Pete on the East Coast trying to tell me about fucking marijuana that I never heard of. All right. Fucking invented marijuana on the West Coast, man. That's where it comes from, dude. That's where all the big, fat, juicy flowers in the world comes from. Actually, I used to know people that were like Vietnam vets, right? They'd been in the jungle, and they told me that they'd go out in the jungle and they'd find like 30, 40-foot cannabis plants out there growing. They said they'd tie fucking hammocks up in them. Which would be a sight to behold, wouldn't it? Kicking back on your big old 40-foot tree with a hammock and a big fat spliff. What a sight. What a sight. That would be a jungle creature to behold. So, like I said before, it grows everywhere. It's this thing that humans have been doing for 1,000 generations. From what I understand, hemp was the first cultivated plant by humans. So, and it's always been important to the species, and it was very, very, very important to this country up until, I don't know, what, 1930, somewhere just before Prohibition, something like that, I don't know. But it was always like farmers used to be able to pay their taxes with it. George Washington said the best advice I can give the American farmer is make the most of the hemp plant. It's people don't understand how an important plant it is to our species, how it feeds. It used to feed so many people. The seeds are incredibly high protein, and they have amino acids, which I understand can't be found anywhere else, and are incredibly beneficial for humans. This is what I've heard. I hear a lot of things. Some of it actually sticks in my brain. So, let's see. And by what I mean by important to the country, to this country, is that, again, before 1970 or so, like every rope used by the U.S. Navy was made from hemp. Actually, every single uniform used in the Navy, the Army, the Marines, the Air Force was made from hemp because it's an incredibly durable fabric. This easy to farm. Hello, caller.
Hey.
What's happening?
Can you see my phone number? Do you know it's me when I call?
If I care. I don't really care that much, so generally I don't look.
Oh, come on, dude.
What? If I look and I see that it's some dickhole, I'm like, oh, great. You know, am I supposed to call and go, oh, great, what?
You calling me a dickhole?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
Okay, but do you have dickhole's number memorized so you can recognize it?
I recognize some of the dickhole's numbers, that for sure.
Okay. I was really stoned last time I called. When was that? Last night, I think.
Probably.
Probably. Yeah, I called. But, so what's up in Australia? Facebook is banned what? News? Why do you say that?
They banned, because it's all over the fucking news. I just played a clip minutes ago.
I'm very sorry, but I missed what the clip said. Did
It
say
said
they
that
banned
Facebook
news?
is banning posting news clips, any news on their, on Facebook in Australia, because
What
because
about
they're claiming it's because Australia just passed this law where, like News Corp sued they want some kind of fucking royalties for their news getting posted on social media, and somehow they won this case in Australia, and they made this law where now, Facebook is just using this. Facebook loves to censor. So, and this is the most important thing to censor, is the people having this discussion about what's actually happening. And that's what the news is supposed to be, what is actually happening. We're here to inform you about what's happening now around the world.
So Facebook is no longer a news platform in Australia.
As far as I can tell, they're blocking all news on Facebook in Australia because they don't want to. They're claiming again because they don't want to pay royalties, but they make so much fucking money, right? It's not about that. It's about that they want to censor. They don't like that discussion, and that's part of the reason that News Corp is doing this too, and all these other news stations, is because it's not about the money, but they want to control the dialogue, so that if you get what I'm saying, you know exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah, well, how much extra money is Rupert Murdoch going to make by making him pay copyrights?
He's not going to make any extra money, because what Rupert Murdoch doesn't get, and other than they wanted to control the dialogue. That's why again they have claimed copyright on video after video that I posted. It's not so that they can make another shiny penny off of their work. It's because the people in my group are allowed to speak their minds and call bullshit on what they want to call bullshit on, and they're that's unacceptable in the News Corp world. So, which is again, this is the problem. Is there's only you can't stray away from the official storyline. If you stray away from the official storyline, you now are a threat to all of us, and by all of us I mean all mankind. You are a threat to all society, all civil human beings everywhere.
Well, if that's true, that Facebook is banning all news, and they're just opening up a door for another replacement platform to come through, because nobody's going to stick on Facebook in Australia if they don't allow news to be posted.
Well, people feel like they have their whole lives on the Facebook. People who, unlike you and I, who spend most of our time. I don't actually use the Facebook, but social media, everything I've done on social media from day one has pretty much been about freedom of speech.
Well, the day I got to look at people's fucking pork chops and their pictures of little Susie and my pet pony and all that shit is on Facebook, is the day I leave Facebook, because I'm only on. I developed a network on Twitter and Facebook of only, revolutionaries and intelligentsia.
And is your ban on Facebook up yet? Because I heard you were not able to participate at this time.
For some reason, they changed their fucking mind. They went back like 5 or 6 months. I got a notice, you posted something in fucking October of 2020, right?
Mm-hmm.
And if you disagree with it, click here. So I clicked there, and then nothing happened. So I'm still on Facebook. They got me for 1 month before that, but the second month never kicked in. It's like, okay, well, what the fuck ever. It's like, you're talking to robots on Facebook. You can never get a real person. Hello, Mr. Zuckerberg. I have a bone to pick with you.
Mr. Zuckerberg is a threat. Again, these people that are trying to censor us, again, Murdoch, Zuckerberg, these people are a threat to humanity in such that, again, they're holding back the evolution of man. These places like Facebook should be this bastion of freedom in which people are just, expressing themselves in every way. Again, the big brain, tippy top of the food chain, expressing themselves and enlightening people in every way they possibly can. But instead, they're doing everything they can to shut that shit down.
And they shut down and then the government and the pharmaceutical companies shut down the world economy too, so we're fucked. I mean, it's like, I could give a fuck about Facebook. I could leave Facebook right now and never look back and just do something else. It's no big deal. But man, this is kind of we're in really weird territory, and something,
Well, again, what, and this is what I keep saying, is this is what has to happen. Is we have to recognize the common enemy. It's very simple. If that's what your plan is to recognize who the real threat to your freedom is, because it's not China, it's not Iran, it's not Russia. It's the big tech. It's censored shit for censored information during our election. It's the big tech who's now censoring information in the whole continent of Australia. They don't have to do that. They're doing it by choice because they don't want to whatever. It's because they have the opportunity at this moment to do so, and they're seizing it.
Well, you're perfectly correct. When you say they're retarding the evolution of mankind, that's exactly what they're doing. They don't want us to get smart. They don't want us to be informed. They don't want us to stand up. In order to stand up, we got to be informed, really, unless we're just a bunch of cavemen, and your divide and conquer thing is, perfectly correct also. Is they want to keep us divided. They want to keep us panicked. They want us keep us fighting each other rather than them, and they're throwing all kinds of bullshit at us, fake stories, and
they want you afraid of white supremacists
and soap operas. They're just throwing soap operas. The whole thing, the Capitol Hill thing, is just a soap opera. You could have seen it on Dallas or some show like that. It's like a soap opera.
No, I get what a soap opera is, and I agree. It's theater. It's this dramatic theater of what we have to make happen now is waste even more of the people's time before we get them a check, a recovery check. We have to waste more. We can waste even more of the people's time now because we have, all these other things, these important matters. We're just going to let the legal team take care of Donald Trump now. We don't have to think. It's just
I don't even think Donald Trump is panicking. I think he's probably just golfing, and it's like, man, what a fucking... I did my thing, man, and what a fucking mess, But
no, I bet Donald Trump is at the top of his form right now. I bet he's, after the impeachment hearing, after the second impeachment acquittal, I would bet that he's like, yeah, try and kill me. Go ahead, like he's Obi-Wan Kenobi now,
Right. But, wow. Yeah, it's weird, but, I mean, I do know people that they just post pictures of themselves and selfies and little videos and pictures of their pork chops and their dinner, and this is what I did today. I did this and I did
I like
that.
pork chops. I like pork chops. It's nice to, you know what? And sometimes people, it's really nice sometimes to, before you go to a restaurant, if somehow you Google it or whatever, and there's pictures there of the food, you go, oh, I want to go there for sure, you know, or you go, that doesn't look right. I'm just saying, but I know. I've never done anything like that. That's not. Every day, the only thing that since from day one on social media, from day one of me being on the internet, has been all about freedom of speech. From day one, that's all I've ever done. Besides, some private stuff.
When you think of, yeah, me too. I mean, me too. My whole social media thing is a activist nightmare. That's all it has ever been. I don't have any selfies. I'm just in it for the news. And when you think about news, you think about news, weather, sports, entertainment, music, and then international news and politics. And plus international news. And so what they're saying is you guys can only have sports, weather, bullshit stories, entertainment, Miley Cyrus, and how many kangaroos were recorded in the census this year. No news for Australia, no politics, no COVID-19, no dissent, no discussion. Do what we say, stay locked in your houses, and eat your fucking Vegemite sandwich.
Can't eat your meat if you don't have any pudding.
Do you ever have Vegemite, Mike?
No.
Do you know what it is?
I think I've seen it before, but I can't remember exactly what it is.
Oh, it's like a vegetable spread that, I've never had it myself, but I've seen it, and it's like a vegetable spread, Vegemite.
Yeah.
But poor Australia, man, that's really terrible. I think if you're right, and I'm sure you are, that this is just Zuckerberg playing fucking politics with people's lives, basically, because we need information on international affairs, public policy.
Well, any censorship is bad. Look, fucking censorship is bad. Again, from day one for me, it's been about freedom of speech and censorship. From day one, everything that I've done on the internet, except for porno, everything else. And a lot of the porno that I did on the internet was about freedom of speech also, so you know.
So I'm not going to ask you about that, Mike. That's
well, it's like yesterday Rush Limbaugh died and everybody bowed down like he was a fucking god, okay? But a week ago Larry Flynt died, and to me he was much more a bastion of freedom than fucking Rush Limbaugh could ever dream of being.
Who was the guy that shot Larry Flynt? Was he a born-again Christian?
I'm not sure, honestly. I can't remember who it was that shot Larry. It should be easy to look up. I don't know.
I think there was a movie called The U.S. versus Larry Flynt, right?
Yeah, Woody Harrelson. Woody Harrelson played Larry Flynt. Yeah.
Yeah, so, that's cool. I suppose porno is a free speech issue, but I really don't pay attention.
Everything is a free speech issue. If you talk to any committee, talk to Lenny Bruce and he will explain to you that everything is a free speech issue.
And, I was thinking today, while I was watching some program, about the liberals and the conservatives, on the left and the right, and they're always criticizing each other and saying, and they have similar actions, whether they're on the left or the right. And I was thinking, man, the root of that problem is pathology, because the pathology is exactly the same on the left as it is on the right. They just have different.
They're just talking to different suckers. I've explained this again and again. They're trying to head for the same outcome. They have the same goal. All the politicians, doesn't matter which side they're on, they have the same goal. They're just trying to explain it to different fucking suckers who actually still believe in them. You know, like, I mean, these suckers want to hear this and these suckers want to hear that. So we'll explain it to them the way they want to hear it, and they'll feel good about it.
So would you agree, Michael, that a person that understands their own human psychology would probably be able to grasp complex political situations better than a person that didn't understand their own psychology?
I think they should probably be able to understand everything better.
Yeah, okay, good. All right, you answered my question.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like I was saying about the movie The Meaning of Life. You know, they spell out. They take a moment right near the end of the movie, and they spell out that, you know, they say, well, what was that you're working on? Well, we're working on the meaning of life, and he says that there's two theories, and one is people don't wear enough hats. And the other is, you know, that the people are born into existence, and but it's not like the religious idea of where they're born with a soul. The idea is that they're born with the capability to develop a soul. But since life can be so distracting, it's easy for people to get distracted, and then that doesn't happen. So, you know, so basically that's the meaning, you know, the way we see what life is about. And the guy goes, and what was that about hats again? And you completely forget that they actually talked about the meaning of life in the movie, you know, and they actually spell out, you know, what the possibility. This is actually the possibility of what life is all about. The guy says, what was that about hats? And you completely forget about it.
So the hats wasn't a metaphor to expand your consciousness. Like, you know, I have to wear a lot of hats. I got to be this guy. I got to be that guy. I got to be that guy. I got to deal with these people this way. I got to have these skills. I got to be aware of this. I'm wearing a lot.
No,
of hats.
I don't think so. I think it was just people aren't wearing, because people don't wear hats anymore. People used to wear hats. They're not wearing them anymore, right?
Well, there's a band called Men Without Hats, Michael.
I'm just saying, everyone used to wear hats. It was called style. People don't have that anymore.
Yeah, well, I'm a man that wears either headbands or hats myself, especially when it's cold. When it's hot, I'll wear a headband. But
I wear hoodies mostly these days, but I have numerous hats. Mostly gardening type hats.
Yeah, you would look good with a Gandalf hat, man. I'm going to have to get you a Gandalf hat one of these days.
Cool.
Did you get a walking stick?
Not yet. I'll figure it out.
Okay.
That's the kind of thing that kind of comes to you, you know, like all of a sudden it's right there in front of you, and you go, yeah, that's the thing that I was thinking about.
Do you have trees that produce twisted wood in your neighborhood? Maybe like on the beach, you know, like a driftwood?
Yeah, there's lots of driftwood. Lots and lots of it.
Go down there and pray to Poseidon, and he'll throw you up the
I'm not gonna pray to anybody.
Oh, come on. Poseidon is the most powerful god in the water.
I'm not going to pray to anybody. I'm not kneeling down, motherfucker. And if that's what it takes, well then, you know, fuck you. You know?
He did it.
I'm not kneeling down, okay? That's not why I was made top of the food chain on this planet, to kneel down.
Don't take a boat ride, Mike. Don't take a boat ride. Poseidon is a vengeful god.
They're all vengeful gods.
20 years,
Look at it. Every single god's got this big fat chip on their shoulder going, go ahead, knock it off. Go ahead, knock it off. Like the most petty beings in the universe, you know? Yeah, I'm going to kneel down. No problem, dude.
You know, I think it's fascinating that the Greeks invented gods that had, like, human really bad human qualities like envy and jealousy and anger and you know, the women, oh, that woman's too beautiful, I have to turn her into a snake, you know, but, or they fuck this human, now I have to curse this human, you know, and there's demigods and stuff like that. I think that was really kind of great what the Greeks did. Even the Hindus have gods that have weird attributes and weird moods, like don't fuck with Shiva, or don't fuck with Rama when he's in a bad mood, you know, it's like he'll cut your head off.
Right.
Yeah, we are definitely a screwed up species right now with the potential to become Supermen. So I think I always try to cut it back down to what's the root of the fucking problem. Like the root of my problem in my life, guess what that is?
I don't know.
Come on, take a guess.
I don't know.
Me!
Yeah.
I'm the root of all my problems. So
okay.
I have to concentrate on...
See, that would be insultive to you if I had said that. You're the problem, fuckhead.
No, man, that's just common sense. It's like, you know, if what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. It's like, dude, you gotta learn, you know, and I cannot confess to being the quickest learner on the face of planet Earth.
I think the key to that, what you just said, what's the something of insanity? What's the definition of insanity?
Yeah.
Is that you said? What did you say?
Say what? Say it again.
You said the definition of insanity
is doing the same thing over and over and over, expecting a different result. That's
what it was. It was that the key, in my opinion, what you said there, the key part of that is that the definition of insanity is expectation. Because you said expecting a different results. If you didn't have expectation in the first place, then, you know.
Well, yeah. I mean, truly, we are... As much as we try to control our lives through intellect and action and soul and education and stuff like that, we are leaves adrift on the winds of time, and we're passing through this plane, and we learn and we learn and we learn, and then we die and we leave, and there's only so much that is actually within our control. So we have to be really adaptable. And if you're attached to, I want my car and my best girlfriend, and I want money and this and that, and I want everything to be just like I say it should be, you're going to be really disappointed, because the girl's going to leave you, the car's going to break, and shit's going to happen. So I've learned, I've had so many disappointments that I try not to get disappointed. I try to just take logical action to change my surroundings and my state of affairs. And, you know, you could be sitting at home with $1 million and a meteor is going to come out of the sky and crash into your house and kill you. And
or you could choke on a chicken bone or something.
Right, yeah. And somebody's going to say, oh, you manifested that. It's your fault. Your vibration was wrong. You called the meteor.
You take too big a bites. I keep telling you that.
I mean, it's not like we have control. And you say that a lot, but the words you use is, we'll get through this.
Whatever it is, if you stay cool, we'll get through it. Because, you know, we always get through it, whatever it is. It's really like there's not really another option. People are like, oh, man.
Because we can't control it.
And the other option besides getting through it isn't really an option. You know, either we get through it or we don't. So that's not really an option, not getting through it. So we'll get through it. We always do. That's my whole point, is we always get through it, no matter what it is.
And that's a very optimistic outlook, and you know, a lot of your simple wisdom is grounded in reality, dude. It's like it's good shit, you know. And I just want to bring it down to our basic psychology is our basic lack of understanding our own psychology is the root of all of our problems, really. so both individually and societally. So
I think it's just I'm not willing to sell out. Was it you? Somebody was asking me yesterday how much money they give you $20 million to say this.
I would
and this.
never ask you that question.
Yeah, I was like, I don't do that. I don't jump through hoops like that. You know what I mean? I can't. I had somebody tell me one day, don't worry. You know, this guy, he calls himself a spiritual advisor online, right? And he says, don't worry, you'll get your chance to sell out. He said,
"Oh, I remember that."
Yeah, I said, dude, I've had lots of chances to sell out. I said, is that the kind of spiritual advice you give people online? He said, what are you talking about? Well, you're a spiritual advisor, aren't you? Oh, man.
Well, as soon as they say they're a guru or a spiritual advisor, you know what they really are is a snake oil salesman. They're trying to sell you a fucking vacuum cleaner you don't need.
Yeah, well, I am Bodhisattva, and I don't have time for you and your bullshit, because I'm on the path. So, you know, get out of my fucking way. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm not trying to sell you some fucking snake oil. I'm going this way. I'm not asking you to follow me. I'm just telling you what I see.
Well, that's a real shame that Zuckerberg has such a lack of insight into how human society actually works, that he's willing to squish the intellectual capacity of everyone in Australia for some weird reason. I guess he's making money off it, you know. So, yeah, you're totally right that he is harming the evolutionary capacity of all mankind, and so is Twitter, and so is YouTube.
And Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell.
Yeah, and I hear, you know, there's rumors, whispers on the edge of the atmosphere that Trump is going to start his own social media platform, and I don't know. We'll see. But I doubt it.
I would think he has many, many options at this moment. If he was smart, he'd start a fucking religion, dude. Because, you know,
You did, Michael. Where you been? Where you been, dude? I got my MAGA hat right here, man. Praise Jesus.
Yeah, well, I'm just saying, you would be saying praise Trump if it was the religion. So,
well, people are saying that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So he can, like, but he doesn't get, you know, that's not, I guess maybe not what he wants to do is be, you know, this huckster, you know, Franklin Graham kind of guy, you know.
Well, I was not conscious or possibly alive. Yeah, I think I wasn't even alive when McCarthy was doing his thing with the hearings that he blacklisted everybody. But in my life, I got to say, Donald Trump has been shut down worse than any human being I've ever seen. Ever. So, and I don't think he's hurting right now. I think it's so obvious he got ripped off and shut down in such a immoral way. He's got to be feeling good. Like, God, I did the best I could, and I can't even send a tweet now.
Well, I'm sure that he always feels that way, but I think that he's in this incredible position of power. That's what I see. I mean, I'm no fan of the guy, but I see him as like he probably feels like king of the world right now. Even though he's banned on all these places, you know, he knows he can fucking do shit. He can start some shit right now. No problem.
The thing I feel worst about America right now is that nobody's got a financial cushion to handle what's coming and what's happening. Donald Trump has this giant billion-dollar cushion where no matter what happens to him, he's going to be okay. He's even said that.
I'm not worried about Trump.
Yeah, but I'm worried about the citizen that doesn't even realize that it's more important than Nancy Pelosi to try to fuck Trump than it is to give us our fucking a little couple of breadcrumbs scraped from the federal ledger book. You know, it's like, and they're feeding all their rich billionaire friends, and we got to bail out Boeing and everybody else. It's like, fuck, man, just give me my money and commit suicide or something, because you guys suck. You You guys
Go
are
to
criminals.
prison.
Yeah.
Go to prison and let us get some people in there that actually want to do the people's business, because you guys suck as being representatives, and you're clearly all war profiteers, and that's just not acceptable to the people of this country.
Absolutely not. And they seem to be conscienceless.
Yeah.
They don't have any conscience.
Again, I mean, how can you have a conscience if you're consciously holding back the species from evolving? I mean, they know that they're doing that. I know I'm the only one who talks about this, but they're supposed to be very smart people, and they have, all top level discussions and blah, 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 but I don't think it's possible for them not to know that they're suppressing humans. They're suppressing humans. They're keeping, again, you were supposed to be this big tippy top of the food chain that can make happen anything on this planet that we can imagine. And we have these amazing imaginations. And all of that's being suppressed right now. Except for...
I think we just have to have empathy and compassion for all those senators. We've got to give them time to recover from Trump and Putin assaulting the Capitol on January 6th with their flaming spears and their machine guns.
Well, I have no empathy for war profiteers. I will never have empathy for war profiteers. There's only one solution for them.
I think Putin came out today with a statement that said Trump was ripped off. I only saw it for a moment, and I didn't actually read it. I saw the headline, but that's pretty cool. That everybody in the world knows that America, our elections are just as fucked as anybody else's, if not worse. So I just think the root of our problems comes down to individual consciousness, and we're traumatized as a species, and we're just re-traumatizing every generation, and we got to break the cycle. We got to break the cycle and come out of it through great force of will on our own and as a collective. So that's about all I got to say, dude.
All right, cool. It's good to hear from you.
Okay, take care, bro.
Okay. And I have a video here about orcas in the Puget Sound, which many of you know I love nature, and I'm very fond of top of the food chain nature. Especially, it's much easier to be fond of top of the food chain nature, probably because I'm part of it. It's a lot more difficult to appreciate worms and cockroaches, So, but I think that this is important, and the discussion isn't properly being prioritized. So, on this channel, it's always been important, and it's always been prioritized. I'll be right back.
A virtual event today looked at ways to protect orca just like these. This is L86, also known as Surprise, and her new baby calf. This photo was taken by the Center for Whale Research. The new calf, L125, was seen this week as all three southern resident orcapods were spotted swimming together in Harrow Strait. Today, the Public Relations Society of America, Puget Sound, discussed ways to save the orca and the role that communication can play. One of the speakers, Port of Seattle Commissioner and longtime marine conservationist Fred Fellman, says it's easy for orca to get press, but the key is what do you do with that press once you get it? And the focus should be on the entire population.
Now that we got your attention, let's not talk about, we're not going to save this population one whale at a time. We need to, while the fact that each of them are individually identifiable, each of them have names and are unique to be able to study any population as thoroughly due to the work of the Center for Whale Research and Ken Balcom starting this off. This is anomalous to be able to have an exact count of a population, but we can't lose sight of the fact that it's the population that needs our support.
Also speaking today was the Whale Museum's executive director. She says education is key to connect people and move them into action, and it's collective action that will make an impact on saving the orca.
Sometimes life can be a little overwhelming. Sometimes the weight of the world can be too much to bear. Sometimes you need to stop worrying and take a deep breath. Sometimes you need cannabis. Introducing Brightside, high-quality cannabis delivered right to your door. Brightside offers an extensive menu of strains and products to meet your needs. Choose the experience you want, and we'll send you the dankest herb, the real sticky icky, some top-shelf marijuana. If you like what we send you, keep the whole jar. We'll even include some nugs for you to blaze. As part of Discovery, you'll get to try new strains and products. Side effects may include euphoria, increased appetite, uncontrollable giggles, elevated sensitivity to musical dopeness, and reduced anxiety. Tetrahydrocannabinol may also induce feelings of existential well-being and relentless optimism. With a Brightside subscription, you can get it once a month, once a week, or whenever you want, all at a price you'll like. And yes, this is a real company.
Do you know who I am? You're the wizard.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. Keep it Brightside.
Ask your doctor if cannabis is right for you. It probably is. I love that. What a beautiful thing. And I'm so glad to be able to share it with you guys and it not be a problem. I would hate that if that was to become a copyright issue. So I better call those people and see if it's okay. But then they're like, no. I'd be like, shit. Let's see. Oh, right. Freedom. Censorship. Bad. Freedom. Good. I don't know, you guys. I feel like sometimes I'm the only one that's talking about this shit. Or that it seems to... And I know freedom is like an obscure kind of, you know, I don't know. Idealism. Does it, you know, is it a real thing? Has it ever been a real thing? Is it just some kind of word that people use to like try and incorporate us into their schemes and war profiteering? Gotta fight. We have to liberate these people. Those people, we can't. We're the land of the free. We're the bastion of freedom in the world. We can't just let those people, like, you know, of course we can let them, if they're in Gaza, be destroyed day after day. But, oh no, we can't just let the people, the protesters in Myanmar, you know, get run over by tanks. It's okay in Gaza, but not in Myanmar or wherever else. It's not okay anywhere. And it's unfortunate that that doesn't seem to be the case. Like Washington, D.C., you know, the protesters in Myanmar demanding free and fair elections are heroes, and they're standing up against evil. When the people in Washington, D.C. do it, they're domestic terrorists, and they need to be punished. They need to go to prison. They need to go to jail. No, the people in the people's house, we the people's house, not doing the people's business, claiming to be public servants, they're the ones that need to go to prison. Because they're just taking advantage of us. And I'm tired of it. And they are the common enemy. And we can rally together. We don't have to overcome our differences. We just have to recognize the common enemy. And because there's nothing more important than something that's a threat to us. And this is not just a threat to the U.S. government. Is not just a threat to me, my personal freedom. Your personal freedom. Is a threat to everyone you know. Your children. Everybody. Because every day they chip away more and more. And they don't see. Justice is blind. Unless you have a lot of money, they don't see you. You don't matter. You're just another number on a shelf. Which often feels like what they're doing with people that they put in prison. So, and again, why we don't have priorities like the orcas, right? Why is it that the orca population has to go down to basically nothing, basically not gonna survive, and then it's like, the movie Apocalypse Now. It talks about the Martin Sheen character talks about. Remember the scene where they pull up on this boat, right? And they're like, "Oh, we gotta check this boat," and it's like a little canoe with like 4 people in it, and like the two like a mother and a father and like 2 children, and they're like, "Oh, look in there, look in there," and they go, "And look in that basket." And the guy goes to look in the basket, and the little girl goes to run to make him to like reach for the basket, and there's a puppy in the basket, and because she ran at him, they kill like everybody on the boat, the mother, the father, and then the captain of the other boat goes, "Oh, there's a survivor. We got to take him to, make sure." And Martin Sheen talks about how, Martin Sheen goes over there and he puts a bullet in his brain. There's no survivors. We got a mission. Keep moving. And he talks about how, we blow these people apart, and then we put a Band-Aid on them and act like we're the heroes because we tried to save them. And that's the way I see the police state, but more it's the way that I lost my train of thought. I'm sorry. I can't remember what I was thinking about before that, what I was speaking about. But I'm just saying, I lost my train of thought on that one. Sorry. I really wanted to finish that too. I'll have to come back to it. Oh well, probably have another bong hit. That'll fix that. So, this is a call-in show. If you'd like to call, the number is 805-669-6397, 805 Mox News. And I will be happy to take your call. It's always good to hear from you all. So, otherwise, I'll just play another video because I can't prepare to do that. Came prepared to take bong hits and play videos, and I am not getting, and take phone calls. And I'm not getting any phone calls, so I will play a video for you about the GameStop hearing today.
Well, it sent Wall Street into a frenzy, to say the least. Reddit users teamed up, sending stocks for the company GameStop up to levels never seen before, leading to billions of dollars in losses for hedge fund owners. For days, the markets were volatile. Popular trading apps like Robinhood prevented users from trading or selling certain stocks as top leaders called for investigations. Well, tonight, some of the key players in the GameStop saga, they were grilled by lawmakers who were trying to see if last month's swings exposed a flaw in the structure of the markets. News Nation reporter Basil John has more now from the nation's capital.
Thursday, California Democrat Maxine Waters and the House Financial Services Committee tackled the unprecedented events surrounding GameStop stock last month.
This recent market volatility has put a national spotlight on institutional practices by Wall Street firms.
The investment company Robinhood and its CEO, Vlad Tenev, came under fire for eventually allowing users to only sell and not buy the stock.
In an effort to meet increased regulatory deposit requirements, not to help hedge funds.
New York Congresswoman Carolyn Maloney says Robinhood lacked fundamental fairness for average investors.
They were being treated differently than other market participants who could still buy and sell those same stocks.
What happened is unacceptable to us. To our customers, I'm sorry and I apologize.
Missouri Congresswoman Ann Wagner does not want Democrats to use what happened as an excuse to force more regulations.
To an industry that is already heavily regulated, that will prevent people from participating in our capital markets.
Lawmakers also questioned whether Reddit and the Wall Street Bets community manipulated the market.
We do believe that this community was well within the bounds of our own policies.
Reddit CEO Steve Huffman and Reddit user Keith Gill say the hearing is an important step forward.
It's alarming how little we know about the inner workings of the market. And I am thankful that this committee is examining what happened.
Basil John, News Nation, Washington.
Every time I see that guy, man, I think he probably doesn't get more than 2 steps away from his meth pipe. That's every time I see that guy, I think that, and I'm sorry, but that's what I think every time I see that guy. The Robin Hood dude. Again, I have more videos. I'm gonna play more videos for you until we get a phone caller, because that's what I came to do. And I'm not quite ready for another bong. I have a big fat dab ready to go. But I'm not quite ready for that just yet. Hopefully we'll get to it. I have a good video about political anger and people like not being able to get along when it comes to politics, and people losing friends over politics. So I thought that's a very interesting video. We have a video about Ted Cruz. We have a video about U.S. troops declining to get the COVID-19 vaccine. They're like, yeah, no thanks. They're saying that it's not a mandatory vaccine, so they're not making anyone get it, which seems strange, because I played a video for you a month ago or so about the anthrax vaccine and how they basically punished this woman by making her get the anthrax vaccine 3 times. Because she was speaking out. So you would think that if it's not mandatory, why would the anthrax vaccine, which they know has all kinds of side effects, be mandatory? It's not. Nobody uses anthrax except for this country. This country is making biological weapons like anthrax, which is very scary shit. Alright, so I'm playing another video. Here we go. I have a video about... You want to see the video about troops declining to take the vaccine? No. Yes. Alright, here we go. If you want, you can call. The number's right there on the screen. Call anytime. Operators are standing by. I guess we'll play this video.
Many people in Tacoma smelling smoke all day, and a shelter-in-place smoke advisory thankfully has now been lifted as crews battle a fire on a commercial fishing ship at the port of Tacoma. Q13's Frankie Thompson joins us live near the scene as those fire control efforts continue right now. Frankie?
Matt, crews are approaching 16 hours fighting this fire on the Aleutian Falcon ship here on Commencement Bay. U.S. Coast Guard has just put in a 1,500 no-wake zone, and they also confirm the fire is under control. We want to give you a closer look at what's happening this very moment. As you can see, billows of smoke are in the air, and those water hoses hard at work dousing the flames. Now, we're on Marine View Drive in the port of Tacoma, where so many people are stopping, taking pictures, just in shock watching this unfold. The fire on the ship broke out last night around 10:30, sending large plumes of smoke in the air. Tacoma Fire Department has lifted the shelter-in-place smoke advisory. Crews are on scene working closely with the State Department of Ecology, monitoring air quality in Northeast Tacoma. There is concern about the ship sinking with 48,000 gallons of diesel and nearly 10,000 pounds of ammonia on board. The Department of Ecology has crews working to prevent those chemicals from spilling into Commencement Bay. Firefighters are also working with ship owner Trident Seafoods on a plan to remove excess water from the ship so it doesn't go under. The Aleutian Falcon is a herring and salmon processing ship which spends most of its summers in Alaskan waters. No one was on board when the flame sparked, but Trident Seafood says the ship is a total loss. No cause has been determined just yet. We are closely following all of the updates from Tacoma Fire Department and several other agencies as this continues to unfold. When we learn more information, we'll be sure to give you that update. For now, reporting live, Frankie Thompson, Q13 News.
Frankie, keep us posted.
Okay, so the orcas are dying. She said there's 10,000 pounds of ammonium on that boat. 10,000 pounds of ammonium. What does that do when it spills into the Sound? Right? How many fucking creatures is that going to kill? And what is it doing on a rusty old, sink bucket like that? Just waiting. It basically is a giant insurance fraud scam waiting to happen. Somebody just looking at that going, boy, I could collect a big old check off of that if it was catch on fire. Right? I don't know why there's 10,000 pounds of ammonium floating in the Puget Sound. There's got to be a better way to do it than, putting it on a rust bucket waiting for it to cause a problem. It's disgusting. Humans are better than this. How come we can't demand more from our society, from our government, from, humans are better than this. Maybe I have just way high expectations for this species. They love to talk about how, they're top of the food chain, and we're the only ones in the universe that are like this. We're the I don't know where you get this, but if that's the truth, then why aren't you concerned about what you're going to leave behind? What the chemical spill that you leave behind you everywhere you go? How can you not be concerned about that? That's going to wind up in the water supply one way or another. And I know Manny thinks we have filters. Yes, we have that. We have that. Sure, we have that. All right, I'm playing another video. Because I can. About Ted Cruz. How about that? Man of the people, Ted Cruz.
Texas Senator Ted Cruz coming under fire tonight for going on vacation, with his state still reeling from all of this weather. The Texas Democrats now calling on him to resign. Images circulated on Twitter this morning showing Ted Cruz boarding a plane to Cancun. It drew criticism from state and local leaders in both parties, with hundreds of thousands in the state without power. And after the trip was reported, Cruz prepared to return to Texas, saying in a statement, his daughters asked to take the trip with friends. He went on to say, quote, wanting to be a good dad, I flew down with them last night and I'm flying back this afternoon. Senator Cruz did arrive in Texas, in Dallas this afternoon, and said this to reporters.
Go home and keep working to get the grid reopened, to get power restored, to get water back on. A lot of Texans are hurting, and this crisis is frustrating. It's frustrating for millions of Texans. It shouldn't happen.
Senator Cruz was met with a protester at the airport holding a sign that said 24 dead, referring to the deaths in that state from the winter storm. Republican Texas Congressman Ronnie Jackson saying the optics are not good.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I've been tied up in meetings all day, committee meetings, via Zoom. Today, I have not seen the story, but I did see a couple of clips. And, I don't know if I'm accurate on this, but what I saw was that during this time where we're here and our water's frozen and we don't have any power right now, he's in Cancun. That's what I heard. And so I love Ted Cruz. I think he's done a lot of great things for our country and for our state. But obviously, that's not the image that I think I would want as an elected member of Congress. And I'm sure that that's not the image that he wanted to create. So we'll see where that goes. But not a good look right now.
And the Texas Democratic Party tweeting tonight, quote, Cruz is emblematic of what the Texas Republican Party and its leaders have become: weak, corrupt, inept, and self-serving politicians, end quote. Senator Cruz, who is rumored to be eyeing a 2024 presidential run, has not responded to calls for his resignation. And coming up tonight in our...
Okay, so again, they mention in that story how Ted Cruz is considering or getting ready for a 2024 presidential run. And I brought this up again and again. Ted Cruz is ineligible to run for president. Okay? And for some reason, that doesn't matter to the media, clearly. That doesn't matter to the Republicans who claim to be constitutionalist, right? They could care less what the Constitution says about someone being born outside this country running for president. Ted Cruz was born in Canada. Ted Cruz is ineligible to be president, to run for president. The Republicans don't care. The Democrats don't care. The media doesn't care. What the fuck? Nobody gives a shit about their job or the Constitution or the vow they took. You know, it's just idiotic. It just gets stupider and stupider. Again, we have to, I'm just going to keep talking about recognizing the enemy because I keep pointing it out who the enemy is again and again. Clearly, Ted Cruz will stand up there and swear that he loves the Constitution and that it's just the greatest document ever, and then he shits all over it by running for president of the United States. He is ineligible to run for president of the United States according to the Constitution of the United States. Okay? Ted Cruz, who claims to love the Constitution so much, shits all over it and couldn't give a fuck. Okay, that's the facts, Jack. Know your enemy. It should be obvious to everyone. So I'm going to play another video because I don't have any phone callers. I'll be right back after this clip.
We bring you a bit of good news this evening from 300 million miles away. Right now, on the surface of Mars, the Perseverance rover is just getting down to work after a 7-month journey and a tense, nail-biting descent. Within minutes, the rover had sent back its very first image of the so-called red planet, and it even tweeted, calling Mars its forever home. It is the first NASA mission since the 1970s to search directly for signs of life on Mars. Here's our science correspondent, Rebecca Morell.
Perseverance is going about 1 kilometer per second.
A nerve-wracking wait at mission control.
Perseverance safely on the surface of Mars.
Then celebrations as a signal is received from Mars. It's touchdown for NASA's Perseverance rover. And these are its first images, a view of its landing site before it starts to explore. The rover's even started tweeting too. I'm safe on Mars. Perseverance will get you anywhere.
What an amazing team to work through all the adversity that goes and all the challenges that go with landing a rover on Mars, plus the challenges of COVID and just an amazing accomplishment.
It survived a fiendishly difficult landing, burning through the atmosphere at 12,000 miles an hour before a complex landing system brought it down in an area with some of the oldest rocks on Mars.
It's amongst the most ancient crust on the surface of Mars, capturing that period of time between 3.5 and 4 billion years old, which isn't a period of time that's particularly well preserved in rocks here on Earth. So we have a chance to find out about a period of the solar system that we've never studied before.
This mission is all about finding signs of life, and the best place to do that is here, the Jezero crater. Today it's dry and dusty, but billions of years ago it was a huge lake, and you can clearly see a river running into it. This gives you an idea of what it would have looked like. If we zoom in a bit more, these green areas on the edge of the crater were once beaches on the lake shore, and the hope is any microscopic creatures that once lived there are still preserved. Perseverance is the most advanced rover that NASA's ever built, and it's jam-packed with instruments. Its robotic arm is equipped with a drill to collect rock samples. So what forms of life could they contain?
I am not talking about Martian little green men, probably not even fish. We're looking for microbial life, or maybe microbes that have made a little mat or a slime of sorts that you might find on the bottom of a pond. Those are the types of things that are likely to, well, they did exist on Earth 3.5 billion years ago. The question is, did they exist on Mars at the bottom of lakes?
For the first time, NASA will also be testing a mini Mars helicopter to provide a new bird's-eye view of the planet. And back on the ground, the rover will store some of the rocks. A future mission will bring them back to Earth, and some will be heading to the UK.
These will be the most precious samples that we have on Earth, the most exciting, and scientists around the world will be absolutely fighting and clamouring to study them.
Getting to the red planet is just the start. Now the hard work begins. This is NASA's most ambitious mission and our best ever chance to know whether life ever existed on Mars. Rebecca Morrell, BBC News.
There is my Boo Bear down by the river, in case anybody was wondering where the Boo Bear is. Because he's right there, and he's my beautiful baby. I find it so strange that we can't seem to get back to Mars, right? So if whoever is talking about, Discord or whatever, Craig is actually watching to see if he can have a discussion. He wants to see what the discussion is, so talk to Craig about it. Okay, so as I was saying, this thing with this flawless Mars landing, right? Everything went perfect, and we did it. I don't understand why we're not going to the moon. We went to the moon, so we don't need to do it again. But we keep landing on Mars every other week. Like last week or the week before, the UAE, United Arab Emirates, sent a probe that went into orbit around Mars, right? I mean, they didn't send it last week. It made it there last week. So it seems very strange to me that there's this, Mars obsession when, it'd be really interesting to see somebody making something happen with the moon, because then we might actually have the ability to do something more than the moon. Right now they want to act like somehow they're going to get people to Mars. That's not happening. So right now that's not happening. But if we've actually sent people to the moon already, then I just don't get why that's not happening. I don't get why there's not a moon base being set up. It seems like, and the thing is, the reason that I'm stuck on this is because I don't like being lied to, right? And every other week, again, we're going to Mars. Look, we landed on Mars. We're at Mars. We made it to Mars. Every other week, there's something going on here that's not right. And it's not that, I know what it is, but I kind of can tell when I'm being lied to, and I don't like that. You know why I don't like being lied to? Is because it always seems to me that the people that are lying to you think you're really stupid. Think you're really, really stupid. It's like people like, Rush Limbaugh loved his followers, and that just couldn't be more or less true. Rush Limbaugh talked to the people, his listeners, like they were the stupidest people on the planet. That's all there is to it. And it's really unfortunate because a lot of times people kind of drop their guard. When it's somebody that they listen to every day and they're used to it, they drop their filter. They're not like, that's bullshit. It's like, Rush, and they just let everything go into their head. And that guy was a horrible, horrible piece of shit. So, and I am not at all thinking that, I am anywhere close to wrong. That guy hated freedom. He hated your freedom. He would talk about sending junkies to prison for life when he's taking $100 pill, hillbilly heroin, Oxycontin, $100 a pill on the street. He's just popping 2, 3, 4 of them at a time, saying junkies got to go to prison forever. Fuck that guy. Horrible, horrible human being. Zero empathy, zero love for freedom. And he got the Congressional Medal of Freedom. Oh, fuck, Presidential Medal of Freedom. Fuck that. So fucking bullshit. And this is one of the big problems with Donald Trump is you see he surrounds himself with these people that are just completely bullshit. You know, like Chris Christie, Mike Pompeo, and Nikki Haley. Just fucking scummy fucking... I think that he gets people like Mike Pompeo and Chris Christie in the room with him so that he doesn't have to take credit for all the farts that go on. You know, like how some people blame the dog. You know, like, oh, fucking Chris Christie's a fart machine, right? You know what I'm saying. Anyways, there's my beautiful baby. He makes stinky farts. Alright, so I'm going to play another video for you because no one's calling. I have a video. Oh, I'm getting low on videos. I have this lovely video about troops declining vaccine, COVID-19 vaccines, and one about political anger in families, which and friendships. They're talking about friendships being lost and stuff like that over politics, you know. Hello, caller.
Hey, what's going on?
I am doing this thing that I do. What's going on with you?
Man, I just want to say I came across your show, I think, the night before last, and I'm like, man, this is a prize package, really, because I haven't really came across any dudes, man, especially white dudes, man, I mean, that told it like it's supposed to be told, you know?
Well, I think I'm just trying to look out for Americans, you know. When I see people in when I see people in the street, you know, protesting, it doesn't matter if it's Black Lives Matter or Occupy movement or the protesters that took over the Capitol building in Michigan or the protesters that took over the Capitol building in Washington, D.C. What I see is Americans fighting for freedom, you know, demanding their government, you know, hear their voices, and it really bothers me because people will, you know, smart people will be like, oh, those are pro-Trump supporters, or those are, you know, they're looters and rioters. They just try. It's like the news. The first thing they do is they try and stick a label to the people, right? Like.
Right.
The Occupy protesters were public fornicators and drug users and public defecators, you know. And then these protesters on January 6th, the very first thing they called them was anarchist, right? I'm looking at them like, do you know what that word means? I've never seen an anarchist fly an American flag ever. No offense to the anarchists, but I've never seen that happen.
You got, okay. Just like you said, we all know. Number one, somebody's beating the drum up there, and they're messing with people's emotions. They're messing with people. People don't know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Then we got this damn pandemic. Okay. We got the pandemic out there. And, you know, a lot of people are not thinking for themselves. They say, hey, look, let's go do something about this. And people say, oh, those are racist. Not necessarily. They're not necessarily. They're pissed off. Okay, these people mind their business for the most part. They're pissed off. Okay, so when you get all that stuff together, you know, you got this person against another one, and another one against another one, and then they show you some stuff on television too. Maybe say you might find a couple of black people within the crowd, and they say, well, there's black people involved and stuff like that, but it's planned, you know, because we go back all the way back to 1921. You know what happened there. And then you go back before then, they have also had what you call depression. So we're in an area here, this is different. Now, I think they were caught up in something then. They were trying to get it right and something that's messed up financially. But here we come to this point right here. They're in a situation, they're in the tizzy, and the ones at the top are like, we can't let them get up there. It's kind of like you don't want people to be rich. You don't want people to eat. You want to keep them freezing. I mean, what's the deal here?
And afraid. They need to be as afraid as we can possibly get them. You know, right now people are so afraid. They're afraid if they go to the grocery store and somebody breathes on them, they might die. Right?
Hey, speaking of that, I was going to Lucky's today. You know about Lucky's.
I don't know. What is Lucky's?
It's a grocery store down here. I stayed up there in Washington. I had a damn good time up there.
Yeah, right on.
And that was in 1979. I mean, mushrooms, all kinds of stuff around there. But anyway, Lucky's in the store or something. I'm trying to think of the store that they might have. I forgot. Anyway, it's a store. It's a market. So I'm walking in the market. The automatic door opens up. And this is kind of a rare thing. I mean, this kind of a rare thing that people does. I mean, before I got to the door, this woman backs off almost 10 feet. And I'm like, as I passed by, I said, what the hell is wrong with you? You know, and kept going. But that's a rare thing. See, most people are not into this hype.
Yeah.
But in respect, they will put on the mask. You know, in respect, I put my mask as soon as I get out the door. I'm taking that damn thing off and breathe some air.
Me too.
Okay?
Me too.
But a lot of people, they'll get in the car with it. They'll go in. I said, wait a minute.
I know.
Do you realize what you're doing? What are you doing?
I've been saying that from the beginning. These masks are going to make people sick. You know.
Yeah. Hey, I just wanted to say, man, look here, I appreciate the show. I'm glad I found you. And
what's your name?
Look, Thomas Sanders.
Thomas?
Yeah, I stayed back there when I stayed in Washington. I stayed back there. I can't think of the name. When I was staying in '79, it was shit. I was all over the place up there in Tacoma, right?
Yeah.
But I stayed back there by Tidlow Point.
Nice. Sounds like a good spot.
Yeah, I stayed back there. Yeah, Tidlow. It probably looks better now. I don't know, but it was kind of like a little dinky, beachy area. Then on the way down, you got Point Defiance. That was another trip.
Sure.
And yeah, you know, because then you got the. Well, I thought I was like when I first saw it, I was like, wait a minute, I left San Francisco. You was at the Narrows Bridge over there. You know, that was a trip. I thought that was Golden Gate Bridge. You know.
It's a really beautiful place. I'm so happy to live in this neighborhood.
Well, you know, you live in Seattle, though, right?
I live in Seattle, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I miss the place. Like I say, it probably has something for me if I was to come there. But I'd be bringing something there because I got a few things that I can bring there.
Yeah.
But it's just I'd have to get this thing underway because I got a gig business that I had built. There's some other things. So like I bring something with me. When I went there in '79, I was doing what everybody did. And as a matter of fact, when I left there and come back to California, I hitchhiked back here.
Wow.
Everything was good.
Yeah.
It was good.
It was a different time. It was a different time, that's for sure.
Oh man, Oregon. I stopped through Oregon. It was like I stopped by this bar. I was living for my cousin. So I stopped by this bar and be considered, wow, you can't call it, it's more like a white bar. It's like lumberjack bar. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I stopped and said, you know what this street is? And about 5 guys turned around and said, yeah, right up this way. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I went up there and visited him, get back on the road, because I was walking and hitchhiking, because, I mean,
yeah.
Still, but it was only so cold. It was beautiful, you know.
It's gorgeous. You get used to the cold. I think it's honestly easier to get used to than like Arizona, where it's like 115 degrees. You know.
It's a different type of cold there up in that area, though.
Yeah. I feel very lucky to live here. I tell people all the time I live in a rainforest, and they're like, "You live in a rainforest?" And when I was in high school, I graduated in 1980. We used to always hitchhike up, and I went to Morro Bay High School. You know where Morro Bay is?
I've heard, there at the time, I stayed there long enough to hear about a few places. But the only thing I really remember was Tacoma and smelling bacon from Cornell.
Oh well, Morro Bay is 90 miles north of Santa Barbara. You know where Santa?
You're talking California.
Yeah,
California. Okay.
Yeah, I went to Morro Bay High School. Yeah, and
I'm up here with people. I'm in San Francisco, Bay Area.
Yeah.
Martinez.
We used to hitchhike up Highway 1 when I was in high school. We'd go up to Carmel. You know, there was this little bakery in Carmel that made these fucking amazing cinnamon rolls, and we'd hitchhike like 100 miles up the coast, just to get a cinnamon roll.
I'm going to be like this, okay? Call it race, but it's basically humanity that we're just going to have to sit to do what. Now, I'm from East Palo Alto, so it's like. Most of the people there were doing what they do. I would do what they do too. But when I wanted to get somewhere, I was hitchhiking. Like not too many black people hitchhiking, you know. Damn, I said, now these white dudes here, I'm going to get some of this that they're doing. This shit was fun. And when I went to Washington, I said, I'm hitchhiking back. And I've seen places around California people go outside the United States, they go to countries, and when they come back, they haven't seen shit. They haven't brought anything back. You can go right in California, man. If you take your time, you see a whole bunch of stuff,
Yeah,
on the hills and
that's
stuff.
amazing stuff. Like, have you been to Big Sur?
I haven't made it out there.
It's
I haven't
really,
made it out
it's
there.
really pretty. Or Yosemite? Yosemite is fucking amazing, dude.
Yeah. Hey, I'm going to finish coffee. I'm drinking some sake, so I'm going to talk to you a little bit later.
All right, G. Hey, it's good to hear from you. Thanks a bunch for calling. I look forward to talking again soon, okay?
I got one of your T-shirts.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, stay cool, bro.
You too.
Okay, so, and Craig made some really cool T-shirts. If anybody wants a T-shirt, there is a clickable link in the text body of the video. It's got the, knowledge is free on the back, which apparently News Corp and Murdoch does not agree with, at least in Australia, or the Australian government. What's that? Yeah, it's nice, huh? Pretty.
That's what I got. Yeah, I got the my throat's calming down because I don't talk much, so it starts getting crazy. But anyway, I got the one that says "Knowledge is free."
Yeah, I love that. That's what it says on my business cards too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
And you gonna put a business card in there?
I think that comes somewhere, not from me exactly. It comes from a warehouse somewhere. So, I probably Craig could send you a business card. We'll get one out to you. Next time you call, give Craig your address, and we'll get you a business card out to you, and a postcard,
cool.
and a postcard that says "My cock for president."
All right.
Okay.
Hey, like I say, there's only a few of you guys out here left. You know what I mean? So stick around.
I'm not going anywhere.
Don't go. Hey, who's the dog back there?
That's Rufus.
That's funny.
He's my he's my beautiful baby. He hears you talking.
Who's the dude over there on the side?
That's Bernie Sanders with his mittens. With his mittens.
Yeah. Unique.
Right on, bro. Thanks a lot for calling. Good to hear from you. Thanks for the compliments. Talk to you soon, I hope.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I have let's see. I have 2 videos left. I have this video, right? And this is real, okay? This is real.
Trump won the election. Among the suspects' possessions, this is real, a white privilege card. I want you to take a look at this. It's a fake white privilege credit card. Subtitle, Trump's everything. The card holder, scot-free with 2 T's. Scot-free is actually spelled with 1 T, but 2 T's on that card. That one piece of evidence, an insight into the man's state of mind, that he can get away with anything because of his skin color. His lawyer saying this to CNN. This was a guy simply following.
Okay, so I want to be clear about this also. When these news guys are telling you stuff like this is real, which I heard one of them say, it's a fucking tiger. I don't see a fucking tiger. What? Fucking tiger! I heard one of them say earlier, again, something similar to this is real, right? And it's so strange to me that they qualify things in this manner where they're saying, and this, like, as if somehow the last news report that I gave you, that I was just telling you about, those things I was just saying a minute ago, that was a bunch of bullshit. But this is real. So whenever you hear that, and I heard that again in a news story today earlier, and I was going to point it out to you, but I cannot remember which one it was. It may be the one that I'm going to play for you in a minute about political anger and people losing friendships and family members over bullshit. Political. Again, I played a video a couple days ago about Adam Kinzinger, Congressman Adam Kinzinger, and how his family has basically disowned him, and they read a letter from his family that said that he was a disappointment to God, right? And all I can think is, and they're trying to say it's over this QAnon, Trump support bullshit, and all I'm trying to say is that's not all it's about. You know, just like the people who went to the Capitol on January 6th, they didn't go there just because of Donald Trump. They went there because there's criminals in that people's house, in the people's house. There's criminals claiming to be public servants and doing crimes every single day in the good name of America and in your good name. You're somewhat responsible. Unless we're trying to get these people in prison for their evil deeds, then we're kind of like responsible. If we just let them go off and retire, if we just let Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and Hillary Clinton and Chuck Schumer and Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney go off and have their big fat retirement with their big fat government retirement check without sending them to prison for the evil deeds that they have done, then why should anyone else do anything different than evil deeds? Because those people made out pretty darn well doing evil deeds, right? So we have to recognize the common enemy. This again is the way that we overcome the division. The division is the big main thing. That's what they want. You know, the last caller was talking about, I was saying, you know, don't buy into the hype or fear, because that's like the number one thing they want is you to be afraid. Right now, people are afraid if they go to the grocery store, someone's going to breathe on them, they die. But it's also this division. The only way people like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Mitch McConnell stay in power is because of this bullshit division that doesn't exist between them. It exists except for as theater, because they're buddy-buddy, right? And if they're not buddy-buddy, at least they completely understand why this person does what they do, right? And it's not understandable to go to war in Iraq and murder 1 million innocent Iraqis based on lies in order to make people like Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney rich beyond their wildest dreams. It's unacceptable. It should be unacceptable to anyone for that to happen, especially when Dick Cheney helped fabricate the lies that led us into war with Iraq. But we can't hold them accountable, because the truth is that Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell and all these other people are responsible for that. And if they didn't speak out every single day to try and stop that, you know, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, they were both senators at the time when they're marching to war in Iraq based on lies, aluminum tubes, and yellow cake. That's why we have to go take out Saddam right now, because otherwise, you know, the warning may come in the shape of a mushroom cloud, or the smoking gun may come in the shape of a mushroom cloud. They're threatening that Saddam is going to nuke the United States if we don't take him out right now. That's what they're saying. And Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Joe Biden, Hillary Clinton, Barack Obama, they helped make that war happen. They helped it continue to go on. They funded it again and again and again. They had the opportunity every single day to stand up and speak out and try and stop it. Even after it started, they had the opportunity and the obligation. The people didn't want that war. They're murdering children in your name. They're spending trillions of dollars. They're sending our mothers and fathers, our brothers and sisters, our sons and daughters off to die in a war of choice based on lies, solely to make rich Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney richer than they ever dreamed. That's a good reason. And Nancy Pelosi did nothing to stop it. And Hillary Clinton did nothing to stop it. And Chuck Schumer did nothing to stop it. Never spoke out against it once. Joe Biden, in a position, one of the loudest microphones in the world, to speak truth to power. That's what he's there to do. I'm not in that position. If I was, and the reason I'm not is because if I was, I would speak out every single day. I'd be out there pounding my fist, saying, why isn't there a new infrastructure project? Why aren't we doing the people's business? Why are we still at war? Why are we still in Iraq? Why are we still in Afghanistan? What the fuck is happening? Every single day, reminding people. And why haven't we put these people in jail yet? Why is it that Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney can start a war based on lies to make themselves rich, murdering little children again and again and again? Why is it that no one's doing anything about that? Again and again and again, I would speak out again. And that's why I don't have that job. Because you have to go along. Because all those people up there are criminals. Because if you're not speaking out against it, if you're not doing something to stop it, then you're helping murdered little children to make Dick Cheney rich. And that's pretty fucked up of you. And really, you need to go to prison to protect the little children that you think it's okay to blow up into a million pieces in your name with your tax dollars in order to make Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney rich. And Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, they're all good with that. They have no problem with that. Hillary Clinton, Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, not a problem. They're disgusting, horrible human beings who need to go to prison. And we need to recognize this. As a country, as a species, we need to protect children. Everybody's like, think of the children. Well, if you really want to protect the children, then people like this, sick people like this, who are blowing up children to a million pieces to make Liz Cheney rich. Those sick motherfuckers have to go to prison for the rest of their lives. And everyone, I don't know, again, I think we can get pretty much everyone on the same page of this, okay? Nancy Pelosi, I know, oh no, she's on our side, right? Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, every single day for the last 20 years could have been speaking out to stop war in Iraq. If they had stopped war in Iraq, they would have saved us trillions and trillions of dollars, because there was absolutely no reason to go to war with Iraq. Unless, of course, you want to make Dick Cheney rich, Liz Cheney rich, because they're the kind of scumbags that would profiteer off of something like the events of 9/11. But Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, Chuck Schumer, Hillary Clinton, all these people who had the chance to stop, Joe Biden had the chance to stop it, had the chance to speak out against it. They didn't do that. They didn't do that. They don't care about little children being blown up in your name with your tax dollars. I don't give a fuck about that. I got a four martini lunch to get to. I don't have time to talk about fucking Iraq. Iraq. Don't have time to talk about fucking Iraq. Okay, time for another video. This one is about political anger. And again, the reason that people have this political anger is because they're buying into the divide. They're buying into the belief that somehow these guys are on our side, or these guys say the things that I want to hear. Of course they say the things that you want to hear. And then how do they act? They don't act anything like what they say. Again, Ted Cruz claims to be a constitutionalist, claims to love the Constitution, claims that it's the greatest document on earth, and then every 4 years shits all over it by running for president, because it states very clearly in the Constitution that Ted Cruz is in no way, shape, or form eligible to run for president of the United States. And no Democrats speak out about it, and no Republicans speak out about it, and none of the media speaks out about it. Again, every pillar of our community completely full of shit. So don't buy into this, one side or the other is the good guys. That's a fucking lie. They're all war profiteers that are responsible for 1 million dead Iraqis based on lies solely to make Dick Cheney and Liz Cheney more rich than they could have ever dreamed of. So don't buy into the bullshit about some kind of fucking divide. Because if you do, it's like buying into the fear. It's like buying into the divide. The thing they want the most is us divided and afraid. That's why we all have to wear face masks right now. Because if you don't wear face masks, you might breathe on me and kill me. So I know who the enemy is. It's you. It's everybody in a face mask because they might kill me. They got this divide conquer thing pretty much down. And if you can't see beyond it, it's because you don't want to. Or you're not making any effort to. So you know.
Remember the good old days when you could meet up with your friends, speak your mind, and you could all feel pretty good about it? Well, those days are long gone. Why? Politics. Researchers now say political partisanship is invading every aspect of our personal lives, influencing who our friends are, where we shop, even what jobs we seek. Is it possible to avoid politics anywhere? Let's get back into it with the panel. Inez Stepman, Dave Smith, who's still stewing, and Kevin Walling. Then the W is for winner.
I'm sorry, Dave.
It's okay, Dave. You'll come back. You'll win again. Inez, boycotts are up, and I don't boycott because I don't have time to keep lists of what I'm supposed to boycott, whether it's beans or Starbucks or sporting goods stores. People get so mad that you're going to boycott yourself into a corner. Are we really that polarized?
Increasingly, we are. And of course, the logical endpoint of this is that every single interaction in our lives that we have with other human beings, we have to filter through the lens of politics. We now have, of course, the online battle between MyPillow and then the David Hogg pillow. We have to question the politics of whoever makes our pillows. I mean, when it's reached that level of absurdity, I mean, there is a deeper problem here, which is we don't have those same kind of 30,000-foot underlying commitments to 1776, to free speech, to a kind of small L liberal tolerance. Those things have been under attack. And when those things go, then you get, basically no more space for us to have fun or do things that make us like each other as fellow human beings. And we just go straight into bare knuckle politics all the time.
Yeah, and that's a really good point, Inez. And Dave, obviously, this is something that you have to consider because there are rooms full of people and all they do is look at other people's Twitter accounts to find things they might have said in the past a few years ago that violate today's standards so they can cancel them.
Yeah, people actually get excited at the prospect of getting offended these days. Like if someone says something that they think could be interpreted as offensive, they're ready to pounce on it and they all get wide-eyed. But I think from the libertarian perspective that me and you might have on this, Kennedy, the size and scope and power of the government has been expanded extraordinarily, basically since 9/11, in the entire 21st century. And I think that as the government gets bigger and bigger and more powerful, it leads to this dynamic in the culture where everything is politicized because we're constantly fighting over who is going to rule over the other half of America. And the truth is that we're a very big country. We have many different cultures, but we have two distinct cultures in the left and the right. And we now live in this system where one of them wins and one of them loses, and we're constantly at war with each other. And the only answer is to declare a truce and roll back the power of the government and have some decentralization and say that, you know what, rural Alabama is going to be a little bit different than downtown Brooklyn, but that's okay. We don't have to be at war with each other. And if we are going to go to war with each other, it's going to get uglier and uglier.
Kevin, we only have about 30 seconds. Have you seen this in your life? Have you lost friendships or seen people make disastrous decisions just because of politics?
Yeah, I've seen others do it. I try not to. That goes on Fox News, right? So I try and see all sides of the issue because I think we need more of that in this country. And I think it's important to have that dialogue. And to Dave's point, we should be Americans first and residents of Brooklyn and Alabama second. Yeah. And hopefully that will be a uniting factor for all of us.
Absolutely. And that's one of the reasons I love having you on the show. Well said, Kevin, Dave, Inez. Great job, everyone.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay
wish there were a coalition of misfits and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits and they cobble together and they don't attack each other.
I gotta redo that. I didn't get it quite right. It's almost good. I didn't get it quite right. I like the part where it says, I know Jackie Cat was like, gotta take the dialogue out, but I like the part he says misfits, bunch of misfits. I'm like, I like that, bunch of misfits, and then she's like, look at my titties. What a funny girl. I cannot stop looking at her. Just like fascinating, it's like those kind of things where you just can't turn away. Making my mouth water, Kennedy. All right, I'm all out of video. Oh, no, wait, I have... did I play the one about troops declining to get the COVID-19 vaccine? I don't think I played that one yet. I still have that video. I played the fucking tiger video. So I still have one video left. So I'm going to play that video for you now. If anybody wants to call, this is pretty much your last chance. Because I came to play videos and smoke fat dabs and take phone calls. And I'm down to my last video. So if we don't get a phone caller, this is going to be your last chance for this evening.
The Department of Defense is now on a mission to get more service members vaccinated. The Pentagon says 2/3 of troops have been vaccinated, but the rest have declined. The military has the vaccine through emergency authorization, so they can't force anyone to get it.
It's a voluntary vaccine. People decide for themselves if they want it or not. And we have to respect that decision-making process.
The DoD says more service members have been getting the vaccine before being deployed, and 90% of sailors heading out to sea last week chose to get the vaccine.
I mean, this coalition of misfits and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. I wish there were a coalition of misfits and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of misfits and they cobble together and they don't attack each other, they stay united. Coalition of...
That's a funny girl. Okay, so I am all out of videos. So what do we do now? Huh? Train wreck. That does sound pretty good. I think that's probably the direction I'm headed. Big fat train wreck. Again, it's making my mouth water. Actually, I have this fucking strain that I want to grow so bad. It's called Grape Snow Train, and it just looks amazing. But it's going to have to wait till after summer because I can only do so many plants at a time, and we have the summer auto flower grow in the backyard planned out, and I have a little small garden started now. So I'm only going to be able to do so many plants until the end of summer. So we're going to have to wait till then. But one of these days soon, I hope. I am really looking forward to that, I'll tell you. Look, I did all the videos. I did the fucking tiger video. I did all of it. So, since we don't have any phone callers, and I'm kind of hungry, and there's a piece of cake left downstairs. Somebody's looking for some cake. I know they are. I am going to go and get some food. So thanks so much for tuning in. We do this every Monday through Friday. See, I told you guys, he knows when it's the end of the show. I say, thanks so much for tuning in. Same Mark's time, he knows. Don't you? You're a smart boy, huh? You are. You're my beautiful baby. What a beautiful baby he is. He's such a beautiful baby. You're my beautiful baby. Okay, so we do this every Monday through Friday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, which means we'll be back tomorrow night. Same Mox time, same Mox channel. Until then, stay cool, because one of these days, this war is going to end. Stay cool till then.
No matter which mouth you feed on a two-headed snake, it still shits the same turd. But lucky for you, you have Mox News. More than 10 years. More than 60,000 videos. Mox News has been filtering the nonsense and illuminating the bullshit from your mainstream media. Turn off your TV and turn on to Mox News. For over a decade, documenting the socio-political events that have etched and carved the pathways that define today's modern mess, Mox News has been providing clarity while faithfully bringing you today's relevant stories 100% commercial-free and subscription-free. And just like Lady Liberty vows to remain free. But at this time, we're asking you for your help, your patronage, and your support to keep the lights on and the videos rolling. For less than 17 cents per day, you can become a basic subscriber, knowing that your donation is truly making a difference that will help continue bringing the news stories that make a difference in your life. Turn on, tune in, and drop a couple dimes today by clicking the link below or visiting moxnews.com and show your support at any level. From a single one-time donation or dedicated monthly subscriber, do it now in less than 2 minutes. All donations are safe, securely processed, and verified using PayPal, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, or Discover Card. As always, we're sure you'll find something of interest each and every day. This holiday season, give the gift of Mox. moxnews.com.
I mean, this coalition of misfits, and they cobble together